What's going on, everyone? It's Simon, and today we're talking non-camera essentials that are always in my camera bag. We hear people talk all the time about camera equipment, what they're taking, how their kit looks. But a lot of times people forget that there's other things that you're always carrying that you don't discuss. And I wanted to take a couple minutes and talk through all of the things that are always in my camera bag that have nothing to do with the camera itself. I'm gonna start off over here on my left where I've got headlamps. I happen to use Black Diamond just because I like the company, but any headlamp will do. They come in super handy because of early hikes into locations, setting up a sunrise, a time lapse, you name it, there's always going to be a use for it. They are just one of those things that always finds a way to actually get used. Going on to the next item, I always carry a pen and paper, and I usually also carry a Sharpie. Huge fan of the Field Notes Expedition because it's actually got waterproof pages. It's a little more expensive, but the fact that it's waterproof and I can write anywhere is awesome, which goes into why I also use a space pen. One of the things that when I was first starting out in business, an older gentleman told me, always have a pen on you because there's always going to be a random time where you can build a relationship off of someone needing a pen to write something down. So that's something that I took into heart, and I like the space pen because it's small and compact, it writes on anything, anywhere, and it looks good, and people always ask, what is it? Like that kind of thing whenever I pull it out. So it just is a nice little talking point, and people are always shocked that as a younger adult in the grand scheme of things, I always seem to have a pen on me versus a lot of times where everyone just goes to their phones. Next, we're gonna actually speak to my heart. And when I say my heart, I mean my stomach. I always carry Clif Bars. They're my personal preference because they have survived all of the trips that I've been on, and they've been super handy. They come in really great for when we're missing normal meal times, or you just need that little extra push to get you through the day. They also come in really handy when you are not feeling all that great and you kind of just want that taste of home. They come in great for that. I usually plan about 2 bars per person per day whenever I'm overseas, and that's not because I expect us to eat all of them. It's because of the fact that I have found we're usually like giving some to drivers that we're working with, or like just kind of sharing around the group, but then also there are situations where you're just chowing down on Clif Bars. And so that is why I carry that many of them. One food for thought that I have noticed over the years is I actually tend to stay away from the chocolate ones. As much as I love chocolate, I have found myself in many situations where it gets upwards of 100, 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and chocolate items do not do well in that kind of heat. So I typically stick to like the crunchy peanut butter or the caramel almond toffee. This one's a little bit on the edge. Or like this blueberry acai, which was fantastic. Kind of those simpler ones that really just get the job done and you're not gonna make a huge mess doing it. Next up, we're gonna go to the after food items, which is, I always carry gum and either Tums or Gas-X. And the reason for that is you never know what you're gonna eat, so having gum so you can freshen your breath after a meal is always helpful. I've never felt bad about having it. And then same thing with like, you never know what you're gonna eat. A lot of times when you change your diet a lot, especially with traveling into some of the places I've been, you kind of get a little gassy. It's the nature of the beast. And so I always just take a couple Tums or Gas-X that helps settle the stomach if that does come into fruition. Next thing is kind of a cleanup. I always carry wet ones, and these travel packs that you can get at Target or pretty much any like department store is a huge help because you always end up making a mess in some way, shape, or form. And I'll carry 3 of these over. I'll put 2 in my checked bag and keep 1 on my person. And then I'll leave the 2 spares at wherever our home base is and then keep one on me, whether it's wiping my hands off after getting into something or wiping down a piece of equipment that got really disgusting. Never know where you're gonna need it, and comes in super handy. And last but not least, I always carry a length or 2 of 550 paracord and a couple human weight rated carabiners. There's been many a situation where I've had to like tie myself onto something, or I've had to lift something heavy where I've needed to like buddy system, that kind of thing. Comes in super handy. I always carry a few lengths of varying length because 550 paracord is super small and lightweight, but it, like the name says, can hold 550 pounds. And so that is why I carry that versus like a climbing rope or a climbing sling. It just gives me a lot more flexibility. Yes, I might not have as much stretch and give on it, but it's kind of that delicate balance of what is it capable of versus what I need and what my weight restrictions are. And then the reason for human rated carabiners is just that it gives me more flexibility for the same or similar product versus like the little S-beaners that you carry like your keys and things on. It just gives me that little extra peace of mind that I know that it's gonna hold up to whatever I put it through. If you guys have any questions about the non-camera essentials I carry around, leave a comment down below. I would love to interact with you. If you guys have any other essential things that you're always carrying on you, let me know. And I'm always curious about what might work for my kit that I don't know about yet. So can't wait to talk to you down in the comments. Be sure you hit that subscribe button so you get notified when we release the next video, which I'm sure is gonna be a good one. Other than that, have a great week. I'll see you next time.